Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolve. Now, earlier this week we talked about Mega Flygon, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Luvdisc. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation of what this series is about. Now, every week I will be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or I want a Mega Evolution for. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your opinions in the comment section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, I will be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Luvdisc. Now, when I say this, I'm trying to say this as nicely as possible for this Pokemon. But before I say it, there's going to be some people who are probably going to get butthurt because either Luvdisc is one of the two, their favorite Pokemon or their favorite designed Pokemon, and if it is, then I really don't know what to say, because in my opinion, Luvdisc is literally in the top 5 worst Pokemon ever invented, created, just in general, because like this thing is just beyond useless when it comes to competitive play and also using this on a team in general. The only thing that Luvdisc is pretty much useful for is to fish for heart scales, and that's literally completely it. Like, I want to say so much, what's the word, like I wanted to actually talk like good about this Pokemon, but there's literally no way around it. And when it came to 5th gen, a lot of people were thinking that Amamola was going to be Luvdisc's evolution, but as time went on, that actually ended up to be false, and a lot of people were actually very upset because once again, Luvdisc is literally a pile of trash. It's literally top 5, maybe even top 3 worst Pokemon ever invented, just in general. So while this thing not getting an evolution, which kind of sucks, because I would rather have this thing get an evolution first rather than a Mega Evolution, just because like its stats are complete trash. So you know that you're gonna have to give this thing like an evolution and or a Mega Evolution. And that's why we're doing a Mega Evolution video for this Pokemon. So as you can tell from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything but decreased its physical attack by 15 points. That way I have an extra 15 points to distribute into its other stats. Now, before I get into it, I feel like I did these its stats wrong, because after looking at that, I have like 115 points to distribute into its stats, and literally 70 points went into its special attack, and I believe I only had like 45 points left. So if I did make a mistake, I do apologize, but once again, I decreased its physical attack from base 30 to base 15, because literally, like, if Luvdisc is going to be anything, it's going to be a special attacker, because this thing like doesn't get access to any I would say good physical type attacks. I mean, the best thing you're probably going to be getting from this thing is probably Double Edge, and that's a transfer move. So like if you want to run it like a physical, you can. Oh, and the only stab physical water type move that people will normally probably run on this thing is Waterfall, and I mean this thing does get access to Aqua Jet, but like once again, this thing is just like piss poor pitiful. So for its physical attack being base 30, there's honestly no reason to actually invest anything into its physical attack, while it only has like maybe a few physical attacks that it can work from, while this thing has a lot, like I wouldn't say a lot better special attacking moves, but it does have moves in the special variants that can actually make this thing beneficial. So I honestly did increase it to base 15. That's why I can also have an extra 15 points to distribute. Now, for its special attack, I increased it from base 40 to base 110. Now, no matter how you see this, or no matter, what's the word? No matter how, like, if you disagree with this, then I'm sorry, because like literally, but like if anything, when we're going to be getting a Mega Luvdisc, it's like it's either its physical attack or special attack has to be like increased like a fuck ton. And once again, I've already explained why I decreased its physical attack, but once again, I increased its special attack tremendously to base 110, because once again, Luvdisc is more of a special attacking Pokemon per se. because for one thing, its special attack is 10 points higher than its physical attack without the Mega Evolution, and like this thing does get access to better special moves or just moves in general that this thing can actually benefit from for being a special attacker. And to mention some moves, this thing gets access to Hydro Pump, which is I think its highest special attacking move that this thing gets special wise. This thing gets access to Ice Beam, Blizzard, Water Pulse, Hidden Power, Surf, what else? Icy Wind, I already said Water Pulse, but like all those moves I just mentioned, those are literally like the only moves that this thing can actually benefit from, because everything else is literally a pile of shit. So, like, honestly, a special variant Luvdisc would actually do better than a physical variant. Plus, like, I don't see this thing getting past, like, I think it's RU or NU, one of the two, like the lowest tier before PU. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Luvdisc is in PU, so I have a feeling that if it gets a Mega Evolution like this, I can actually see its Mega Evolution getting bumped up a tier. I mean, it's highly likely, but I wouldn't mind if this thing will be in PU, just because, like, it'll be a Mega Evolution in PU, because if I'm not mistaken, we don't have a Mega Evolution in the PU tier, but we do have a Mega Evolution in every other tier besides PU. So it will be a kind of a little change. I mean, PU will have a Mega now with Mega Luvdisc, but like once again, its special attack is probably the best route to go for a Mega Luvdisc, just because its moves the moves that it gets access to are a lot better than its physical variant. Plus, this thing gets access to, I think, Draining Kiss, so that is a fairy type move you can run. But when we get down to its typing, I'll explain why and make this thing part fairy. But I believe 110 in special attack. I mean, once again, this thing is a piss poor Pokemon, so I had to increase either its physical attack or its special attack by like 70 to 80 points. Pretty much like literally most of the points that a normal Mega would distribute into its stats into that one stat to make this thing actually viable. Now for its defenses, I increased its physical defense from base 55 to base 75 and its special defense from base 65 to base 75. Now what I wanted to do is that I wanted to make its defenses the same, because once again, this thing is still somewhat considered a glass cannon. Base 75 defense is kind of, I wouldn't say good, but I wouldn't say bad. It's kind of in the middle, but with the Pokemon like Luvdisc and with the tier that it's in now, it's actually, I wouldn't say very good, but it's actually, like, it's perfect for where it is, okay? So, like, this thing is like, I don't want to keep mentioning this Pokemon, but I kind of have to. It's like a Mega Absol. It's very hard special-wise, or I'm talking about Luvdisc, but it hits hard special-wise. It's very, very fast, but the one thing that this thing is going to be kind of hard is that it hits hard, but it's a glass cannon, so pretty much you Mega Evolve, do as much damage as possible, and then die. So that's pretty much what Luvdisc is pretty much all about per se when it comes to its Mega Evolution. But once again, base 75 defense, I wouldn't say isn't all that bad, because like there are Pokemon in PU that this thing will be able to take hits from, so it's not a lost cause, so to speak. So base 75 defense is actually not half bad, and for its speed, I only increased it just a smidge, literally just a smidge, from base 97 to base 112. Base 97 for a regular Luvdisc is actually pretty fast, and its highest stat, and to be a matter of fact, like this is the only thing that's actually going for it, is that its speed is actually pretty decent and almost close to base 100. So I wanted to increase it to base 112, because then that way it'll kind of work with its special attack. Like I said, Mega Evolve, I would say you probably don't want to protect, just because its speed's already decently high enough to where you don't need to run protect. And plus, I don't see this thing getting moving out of PU whatsoever, even if it does get a Mega Evolution like this. But once again, base 112 is actually a very decent base speed stat for a Luvdisc, just because then like you can Mega Evolve, go on an offensive like Ballistic Fury of special attacks, just pretty much spamming Hydro Pump or something like that. But once again, base 112 is actually very decent for a Mega Luvdisc. Now as a regular Luvdisc is space stats at 330, and with the Mega Evolution is going to be at 430. Now for its ability, I kind of give it a new ability, but also worked off already an existing ability, and that ability is Love Charm. So it's kind of like Q Charm, like pretty much if you're the opposite sex, and like for instance, if Luvdisc is a female and your opponent has like a male, I don't know, Squirtle, and you keep attacking and then it'll get infatuated by love. But what Love Charm does is pretty much kind of like Cute Charm, but instead of getting a chance to be infatuated by love, it's going to be 100% infatuated. So pretty much if your opponent has a male and your Mega Luvdisc is a female and they hit it with, like, for instance, like an Aqua Jet, that Pokemon is going to be infatuated 100%, because like Luvdisc is literally a heart-shaped Pokemon. It's a like it makes perfect sense. Okay, it says pretty much for its Alpha Sapphire Dex ability, or its Pokédex description: Luvdisc heart-shaped body is a symbol of love and romance. It is said that any couple meeting this Pokemon is promised a loving relationship that never ends. So giving it an ability like this, actually, it makes perfect sense. And also, while also being like pretty much 100% infatuated by the opposite gender. And what I also wanted to do is add on an additional effect. So pretty much if your opponent is a male and your Luvdisc, Mega Luvdisc, is a male, so pretty much they're the same gender, your opponent is going to be taking, I would say, 1.1 to 1.3 damage, just because, like, what is it, like, have you guys ever like met someone who is a girl but ends up look like a guy, and you're like, you want to hit on them, but like, you know that they're not who you think they are? That's what I wanted to do with Mega Luvdisc's ability as well. Love Charm. Pretty much if you're the same gender as your opponent, then your opponent's going to take some damage. But if your opponent is the opposite gender, they're going to be 100% infatuated with love. So I feel like with this type of ability, it'll give Luvdisc a chance to actually shine a lot more, rather than being kind of like Mega Absol, Mega Evolving, doing offensive, like, ballistic types of moves, and then end up dying. I want to actually give, like I said, Luvdisc a chance to actually shine. So that's why I've given it the ability Love Charm, and also why I've given it, like, its the description of what the ability does. Now for its typing, I left it alone as water. Now I know a lot of people are probably going to be, I wouldn't say all butthurt, but you guys probably would have agreed to make this thing part fairy. I mean, it's not like it doesn't have any fairy type moves, considering that the only offensive fairy type moves special wise that it gets, or should I just say in general, it gets access to Draining Kiss. I mean, it's a base 50 power, which is special. It's kind of like Giga Drain, or I would say Mega Drain actually, or Absorb, one of the two, that actually would benefit for Luvdisc. But I have a feeling, or I wouldn't say I have a feeling, but I'm hoping that if this thing does get a Mega Evolution like this, I'm kind of hoping that Game Freak will actually, like, make an event for Luvdisc to actually have this thing get access to fairy type moves like Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, or Play Rough, just like fairy type moves that would actually benefit for making this thing part fairy, rather than just Draining Kiss. I know you could probably say that giving this thing Pixelate would actually be good, but it doesn't get access to Hyper Voice, and most of its normal type moves are like physical type attacks like Takedown, Double Edge, Return, Frustration. I mean, those types of moves, which pretty much wouldn't really work all too well for a special variant for a Luvdisc. So it pretty much all depends on what Game Freak does. If Game Freak decides to give, or just Pokemon in general, gives Luvdisc a Mega Evolution, make this thing part fairy, make an event to where this thing gets access to like Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, or Play Rough. I mean, probably won't give it Play Rough, but like Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam will actually be beneficial for this thing if this thing does become part fairy. So it's just pretty much all in due time, and hopefully Game Freak actually does something for Luvdisc. So with all that said, there is a Mega Luvdisc. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also don't forget to comment and subscribe. I know this video was a little bit longer than others because I actually wanted to pretty much give my full like explanation and thoughts on Luvdisc in general, because it's literally like I would say top 5, maybe, or actually no, top 3 worst Pokemon ever invented, and probably top 2 like worst competitive Pokemon ever. But I just, like I said, I'm hoping Game Freak actually does something with this thing and actually make this thing very viable in competitive play, whether it's in a low tier or not. So, with all that said, the next Pokemon we are going to be talking about next week is probably a fan favorite for a lot of people that came out in 2nd gen. So yes, we are going back to Johto because there's a lot of Pokemon from that generation that I do like to talk about, but I also want to spread out a lot, so I don't want to keep making like the whole Y Mega Evolve thing all cluttered with just 2nd gen Pokemon, and that Pokemon is going to be Politoed. So yes, next week on Monday we are going to be talking about a lot of people's fan favorite Pokemon, Politoed. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.